agent promotion. How do we promote ourselves and get found?
Mm-hmm. And there's a difference between how an agent promotes and how a talent, or maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go first? What do you do as a talent?
I have a website, and I used to run a Google ad through there, which was very helpful because it was broadcast all over the world. So I was getting international gigs. That was great. I might do that again.
So you were doing like SEO pay-per-click kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And I have the third-party websites that are great for promotion because they kind of work the same way with SEO. They're not as much international though, although I have had some international gigs through those sites. Mm-hmm. And then as far as social media, that confuses me because I am also an actress. I act looking like me. Mm-hmm. And so I have all of those sites, and that's how I prefer to promote myself. I have like other accounts that are just for my characters. Like I have Marilyn Instagram, but I find that I just would rather post all together. So I've been trying to somehow integrate this impersonation work into
your personal side?
Yeah, into my personal.
You can do that.
Stuff.
I just did it with my Instagram, by the way.
You did?
My Kevin Weiler and my talent plan.
Mm-hmm.
I just joined that.
Okay.
But now I'm not putting too many personal things on there. I'm just kind of using Facebook for that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
As impersonators, we do all levels of gigs. Like we do everything from like big stage shows and big corporate events and high-end clients to like small little. Mm-hmm. So you don't necessarily want to put those smaller gigs on your social media while you're trying to get like big jobs on network television.
No, I think that everything we put up, and I think we learn as we go, should be the best. Mm-hmm. Like I was just telling Christian, because we're working more on Bruno lately, and I said less is best. Mm-hmm. Because that one thing that just doesn't look as good as all the others throws people off, and then they start questioning it.
It's true.
So. And
also, like you almost have to have a handler or somebody coming with you, because how am I supposed to film myself at gigs? It takes away from my professionalism. Mm-hmm. So often, like, all I get are behind the scenes footage.
And I think that's why people do hire social media people just to run around with them.
Mm-hmm.
And we probably should on certain events. Mm-hmm. We've talked about sharing somebody. Mm-hmm. That's something we need to continue to talk about. As far as an agent, can I jump in?
Yeah.
As far as an agent, over the years, look, it's a specialized industry, very specific as celebrity impersonation. Unlike DJs and bands, right? Although I'm booking a lot of those things, when people want it, they reach out to find it. So I've been to trade shows in the early years. I've spent money on booths, and had a bunch of talent and done presentations on stage, and it costs $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Have I ever seen a dime from that? No.
Really?
No. So sure, people are coming to that are actual bookers, but at the end of the day, when they want to look alike, a tribute artist, they're going to look for it because it's special. Mm-hmm. That's what I learned. So I don't spend any money on any of those things. I've got a good website that I literally just revamped because it's got to look good. Everything's got to look good, and it can't look dated, and mine did. Mm. So that took a while to do, and it's done. Google, make sure you have a Google listing. Make sure you have a Yelp listing, even if it's free. Those are places that you can get reviews, and people do find you there, for sure. As far as the third party, I don't have a talent plan third party, but I'm tapped in other ways to those to get talent and to get booked. Mm-hmm. So I think, so those are the ways that we do it. So we're going to talk real quickly about client expectations. I believe money talks. Mm-hmm. Many times as an agent, I am not the first in line. So it's an event planner who's booking a client. So it's 1, 2, I'm 3. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'm 4.
Oh, there's that many people?
There's a DMC, a destination management company, who's booked everything for IBM's trade show or convention. They're working with a local event planner. So client, DMC, event planner, me. So you can imagine what the client is paying as opposed to what the actor might be getting. You know, there's really no way around that except that I try to be first in line as much as I can. I miss this with promotion, as I actually do send out email blasts 3, 4, 5 times a year, not more than that. I think it's overkill. And I have about 1,200 active client emails, so that helps.
Do you want to work more for like a little less money, or do you want to work less for way more money? So I'm always happy to work even if I'm taking a pay cut, because I just want more volume of work.
Because there were times that there is no work. The beginning of this month, April, I had 2 things on the books. I'm like, April's normally a very busy month, and then things started coming in, and it almost always happens like that.
Sometimes the clients that pay less money expect more because that money means more to them.
Well, if it's a mom and pop, if it's a birthday party or graduation, it's coming out of their own pocket. And that's the difference.
I did a gig as Gaga. It was for a 30th birthday party for this family, and it was in their backyard, and they wanted a 20-minute medley of songs that they requested, and so I prepared the medley for them, and they were paying like on my low end. And then I got there and they were like, this song isn't in the medley and that song? And I'm like, well, you didn't tell me. I was fine with it. But after I performed, they asked me, after I mingled and took photos, they asked me to perform again.
The whole thing?
More music, more different songs.
And what'd you say? Did you say, well, that's not what the contract said? You had a contract with them?
We had a contract, but you know what? I didn't mind. I was like, whatever. I happened to have another medley in my iPad, so I was like, okay, I just did that one.
Well, I will say, as your friend and agent, I think you prefer performing.
I do.
Over strolling the same people.
Yeah, you don't make small talk
You
and
prefer
photos.
to be up there, which is great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sometimes I would imagine, Kevin, since you do all these different characters, that you might have to book somebody to do a character that you do. How does that feel? Is that a weird dynamic?
I enjoy it, actually, because I'm working with the same pool of actors often, and you know who that pool is. I mean, we're together often because I rely on them, their quality, and they don't give me a bunch of shit. So we're booking something soon that I'm booking Christian as Charlie Chaplin. So I asked him, would he be open to doing it? And he's a little on the fence, but I know he'll do a good job. So no, I'm happy to, because I'm not going to always be able to do it. And there aren't very many people doing Charlie Chaplin anymore. You know, many of the old school characters are gone. They're not doing it. They've passed away. They're too old to do it. So I got to bring new people in. So I'm okay with it. How about you?
Marilyn is my main character, and sometimes I've worked gigs and been booked doing a different character while there's a Marilyn there.
You did Lucy, and Steph did Marilyn.
And I also did Brittany, and when there was a different Marilyn. And, you know, I was prepared. You know, I knew that gig that I was going to be working with a Marilyn, so I already had kind of, I was expecting it. And there is like a camaraderie if you do the same character. She didn't know that I also do Marilyn, so we were just kind of talking about performance.
Which one?
Stuff.
She
At
didn't.
first, I told her later.
Okay.
And then I think she thought I had just started it or something like that, but I didn't tell her. So, but the one where I was playing Brittany, wasn't expecting there to be a Marilyn there, but we just hit it off.
I think Marilyn is the one character where there could be that a little bit of animosity between, because Marilyn is a very well-liked character, and people put a lot of time and effort into her, and I think everyone feels that they're doing the best to her.
But also, she is, you know, very lucrative character.
Yeah, okay.
There's a lot of work. You don't want to be displaced.
I totally hear you. And for me as the agent, I have to show the client more than one option. I don't have to, but it's important to, because I've lost things because I haven't. Because they just, whoever I might have sent, whether it's this character or another, they could be like, oh, that doesn't really feel that character to me. And it's too late for me to send them a couple of others because they found it already. So it's better for me to do that.
Well, that's it for this episode of The Wig Room. Join us next time where we'll be talking about glamour and chaos.
Life in the spotlight. Kinda.
See you next time.